Hi everyone, this is Katie from Thermomixing with the Balanced Nutritionist and Family, and I just wanted to put up a little video because sometimes I get asked about why the Thermomix appeals to me as a nutritionist. I have had my Thermomix for over 5 years and I just started being a consultant at the end of last year. I think for a nutritionist, having a Thermomix is just such a no-brainer, and if health is a real priority, you and your family definitely have a little bit of a look at the Thermomix. And I'm going to go through a few reasons why I think it's so great when health is really important to you. So the first thing is, obviously when you're using a Thermomix, you're cooking everything from scratch. So before I had a Thermomix, I definitely cooked from scratch, but things like bread, stock, pastes, they were some of the things that I bought from the store, whereas now I cook almost all of that sort of thing myself. That means that I'm avoiding a lot of preservatives and a lot of additives. You may also have people in your family who have allergies, so cooking from scratch would be really important in that situation, and the Thermomix makes that really, really easy. Some allergens, as we know these days, aren't that easy to avoid. For example, soy is in literally everything. So if you have a Thermomix, it definitely makes cooking without allergens a breeze. You know, even celiacs, obviously, who need to remove gluten from their diet, with a Thermomix, that sort of thing is made a lot easier because you can cook from scratch. One of the other reasons why I really love the Thermomix is because we all know that being healthy is much, much easier when you're organized and you have a plan. I spend a great deal of my time in clinic talking to people about this. It is the practical side of health and nutrition, and I often bang on about the importance of having a weekly meal plan and then going to the shops from that weekly meal plan, buying what you need and having it on hand. I believe that the number one reason why people stop choosing healthy food is normally because they're just not organized for it. They don't have what they need in their cupboard to cook what they want. The great thing about the Thermomix is that with the inbuilt cookie dough recipe platform, you also have a really simple meal planning system. So my entire week is always mapped out for me, what I'm going to cook every single day. I'll just give you a little bit of a closer look there. You can see that I've literally mapped out everything that I'm going to be cooking this week. And then from there, I can even select a recipe such as this one, and I can say I want you to add all of those ingredients to my shopping list, which is super cool. So when I go to my phone, my Cookie Dough app connects with the app that's on my Thermomix, and I'll be able to see all the ingredients that I need to buy when I go to the shops. It also connects with Woolworths online shopping too, so if you're an online shopper, that's all taken care of for you as well. Then, because you have so much power over what you're putting into your food and you're cooking from scratch, the Thermomix does give you a lot of capacity to add extra nutrition to your food. So I'll give you some examples. Porridge. I make porridge in the morning quite often for me and my little girls, and I can add things like almonds, linseeds at the very start of that cooking process and mill them for 10 seconds to get, some extra protein or extra healthy fats in there and get that through them or through all of us for breakfast. I can add things like spinach and cucumber and that kind of thing to smoothies, and therefore we're getting a serve of vegetables with our smoothies as well, and sometimes little ones aren't overly receptive to that. You can get it to such a fine consistency in the Thermomix that often they don't even realize. The obvious ways you can add nutritionals, of course, is things like in your spaghetti bolognese or your curries or your casseroles, those early stages when you're starting off with your onion and your garlic and you're browning it off. You can also throw in some extra veggies there like carrot or celery or capsicum or zucchini and chop it down, in less than 5 seconds to a fine consistency. And again, you've got extra vegetables in a main meal, and sometimes, the rest of the family aren't even aware that you've sort of snuck that in. I guess finally, the other reason why I think it's such a great tool when health is a priority is because if you're lacking inspiration, you probably never will lack inspiration again if you have a Thermomix. And that is because the Cookie Dough recipe platform gives us access to over 100,000 recipes literally as soon as we turn the button on to power up the Thermomix. It actually gets to know you. It personalizes suggestions to you based on what you're cooking. If it sees that you're going for the healthy options, the options with lots of vegetables and those cleaner foods, then that's what you're going to see suggested to you. You can also search for things like keto recipes, low-fat recipes, diabetes-friendly recipes, etc. And you'll get lots of returns on those as well. So it answers the questions of what am I going to cook? I'm feeling uninspired. Once you look at the screen and literally just press the search tool, it's pretty hard not to be inspired by that. So that's just a few reasons why I really love the Thermomix and why I think it really helps you run a healthier household. If you've got any questions, please reach out to me via direct message, Thermomixing with the Balanced Nutritionist and Family, or you can also contact me via WhatsApp, and I'm happy to book a proper demonstration with you if you're interested, either in person if you're on the Sunshine Coast or virtually if you're somewhere else, and we can chat about how the Thermomix might be a good fit for your family.